All right, so get ready because we're diving deep today. You sent us this ebook called Enuma Ichor. And at first glance, it just seems like, your classic kind of fantasy epic, hidden cities, prophecies, maybe a dragon or two.
Yeah.
But there's this feeling that there's something more here, right? Like this world, it's full of symbolism. And,
I do.
I even get the sense that it might be connected to like real places or mysteries in our world.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's almost like you're putting together these pieces of like an ancient tablet.
Right.
Each excerpt kind of gives you this little glimpse into this larger story that's much more complex.
Exactly. So that's our mission today. We're going to try to untangle the story. We're going to decode the symbolism and see if we can find any connections back to our world. We're talking about prophecies that are tied to like celestial events, a forbidden love triangle, characters that are like connected to animal spirits. It's going to be a wild ride.
Oh, yeah. And we got to say, the idea of the animal spirits and how they might connect to like real world archetypes, that really stood out to me. It's like the authors embedded another whole layer of meaning within the story.
I know, right? So let's start with the setting. The ebook mentions this city called Carnamru, totally shrouded in mystery. It's got these hidden crypts, secret passages, and get this, the sun never fully sets there. That really got me thinking, like, are there even places on Earth where that's even possible?
It's a great question. And it's one of the things that makes this so fascinating. Is Carnamru, is it a real place, cleverly disguised within the narrative? Or is it more symbolic? Maybe it represents something like a state of perpetual enlightenment or a hidden spiritual realm. It's a question that keeps coming up as you go through the text.
Right. And that's just the beginning. Then we meet Eldwin. He's our central character. And he seems to be connected to this blue light, which suggests some kind of, I don't know, magical or spiritual power. And there's Crimber, his devoted protector. And from what I gathered, it seems like he might have like deeper feelings for Eldwin.
Yeah. Their relationship is definitely complicated. It goes beyond just the typical protector and protege dynamic. The text hints at this really deep, unspoken bond. That could even go beyond romantic love. Crimber's loyalty to Eldwin is just unwavering. It's almost like they're bound together by destiny itself.
Yeah, it's intense. And then there's Hilda, this powerful female character with super sharp insight. And she's connected to a storm spirit. I mean, that says a lot, right? It's storms. They often symbolize chaos and change. And considering she's drawn to Eldwin, I think she's going to be major player in how this all plays out.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of players, we can't forget Gabriel, the one shrouded in shadows. His connection to Enuma, the hare spirit, really caught my attention. I mean, hares are often associated with intuition and quick thinking. And considering his feelings for Eldwin, I have a feeling he's going to play a really pivotal role.
Yeah.
And maybe even an unpredictable one. It's like the author is subtly hinting at a hidden depth to his character.
There's definitely a lot going on beneath the surface with him. And then, of course, there's that prophecy looming over everything, the death of the sun and the birth of a new moon called the Selena Nocturna.
Right, that's the core of it all.
Yeah.
It implies this huge cosmic shift, the end of an era, and the dawn of something new. And it seems to all revolve around this concept of the rebus, which is described as a union of opposites, it makes me think, of Eldwin and Hilda. Their connection feels central to this whole prophecy.
Okay, hold on tight, because it gets even more interesting. The ebook also mentions an Orcal, a king, and a vigilante. It's like chess pieces being set up on this cosmic board. I'm dying to know who they represent and how they fit into this grand scheme of things.
Oh, yeah. Such a good mystery. The Orcal is probably the source of the prophecy, while the king could represent the existing order, maybe even the old sun. That's destined to die. But the vigilante, that's the wild card. They operate outside of the established structure. Makes you wonder if they're going to uphold the prophecy or disrupt it entirely.
My head is spinning. And we haven't even fully explored the animal spirits that are connected to these characters. Gabriel with his hare, Eldwin with his cat spirit, Taru, and Hilda with her storm spirit. What do you think?
The significance is there.
It's almost like each spirit reflects a specific aspect of your character. Cats are known for their guarding, independence, and cunning, which aligns with Eldwin's potential to be a great leader, but maybe also, his tendency to isolate himself.
The hare, as we discussed, embodies intuition, which suggests that Gabriel operates on instinct and hidden knowledge. And then Hilda's storm spirit, well, that just screams raw power and the potential To be a catalyst for change?
I like that. Catalyst for change. And this is where I think the symbolism gets really interesting. We have this labyrinth of statues, and each one depicts a different animal. There's a boar, a scorpion, and a serpent. It's not just a physical challenge. For the characters, right, it feels like a metaphor for their inner journey.
Absolutely. Think of the labyrinth as
Yeah.
a representation
Of their internal struggles. Each statue could be seen as a challenge, forcing them to confront their fears and make, difficult choices.
Okay, so the boar. I immediately thought of Kimber. Boars are strong, courageous, loyal to a fault, which could be his strength, but also potentially his downfall, do you think? He's so devoted to Eldwin that he might, miss crucial details or make decisions that could actually harm Eldwin.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's that unwavering loyalty that defines him, but it could also blind him to certain things. Right. And the scorpion, with its venomous sting. I can't help but connect that to Hilda. She's formidable, capable of both creation and destruction, just like the storm she embodies. But will she use her power for good? Or will she be consumed by it?
That's the big question.
It is. And then there's the serpent, that classic symbol of temptation and transformation. I'm thinking of Gabriel here. He was associated with secrets and shadows, which suggests he might have to confront some difficult truths or make choices that challenge his very being.
It's a potent image.
Yeah.
The serpent shedding its skin symbolizes rebirth and renewal. It's almost as if Gabriel's journey is about shedding his past, his secrets, and embracing a new version of himself. But will it be for better or worse? That's the question.
It always is, right? And it's not just Gabriel. I mean, even the concept of sacrifice in the labyrinth, this idea of letting go of attachments, it feels like a message for us too. Yeah, Right.
Yeah. It's like the author saying, hey, pay attention. This isn't just a story. It's a reflection of your own inner world. We all face labyrinths in our lives, choices, sacrifices, the need to let go of what no longer serves us. It's a powerful message.
It really is. Okay, so let's dive into the climax. The story describes this journey through a door of wind, which leads to this. Volcanic realm, talk about stepping into another dimension. And here, Eldwin encounters Garuda, this firebird guardian who challenges him to understand the dual nature of fire, creation and destruction.
Garuda the firebird, it is a powerful symbol of rebirth and transformation, often connected to the divine. This encounter is a real crucible.
For Eldwin, he's forced to confront his own inner fire, its potential for both creation and destruction, to really understand the power that he wields.
Right, and it's after facing Garuda that Eldwin acquires a relic, if I remember correctly. It's a fiery sword. Like, he's been given this physical manifestation of his mastery over fire, a tool to face the ultimate challenge. Exactly. That fiery sword represents his transformation. He's not just wielding power, he's wielding understanding. And with that, he's ready to face the circle of broken destinies. Wow. I don't even know where to begin with that.
I know. It's like all roads have led to this point. And everything's about to change. We'll have to unpack that in our next segment. But for now, I'm curious. What are your initial thoughts? What resonates with you the most? What mysteries are you just itching to unravel?
Welcome back. I don't know about you, but I'm still kind of processing all those cryptic clues and the fantastical imagery. Each layer we peel back, it just reveals another puzzle.
It really is like we're explorers charting a new world. Every symbol, every interaction, it all feels so significant.
Right.
And speaking of significant, maybe we should go back to Carnamru for a minute. The ebook keeps drawing us back to this city where the sun never sets. It's more than just a setting, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. Remember those hidden crypts and passages? It's like the city itself is hiding all these secrets, like a whole world beneath the surface.
And that whole idea of perpetual sunlight, it's almost like a state of being, isn't it?
It makes me think of those ancient myths about lost civilizations. The ones that supposedly had this advanced knowledge and spiritual practices, places like Shambhala or Agartha, these mythical cities that are often described as hidden havens of enlightenment, perpetually bathed in light. Maybe Carnamru is the author's way of tapping into that archetype.
That's interesting. It's like they're inviting us to look beyond the literal meaning and consider the deeper implications. And of course, we can't forget about the prophecy, the death of the sun and the birth of the new moon, Selene Nocturna. It feels like the story is building towards this major cosmic shift, a complete transformation.
Right. And the concept of the rebus is right at the heart of it all, that union of opposites. It's like the author suggesting that true progress, true evolution, can only happen when these seemingly opposing forces come together.
Yeah, it makes me think of the yin and yang symbol, how those seemingly opposite forces are actually interconnected and essential for balance. But it's not just about balance, is it? There's this element of sacrifice woven throughout the whole narrative. It's almost like the characters have to pay a price for this transformation to occur.
Absolutely. It's like alchemy. You can't create gold without breaking down the base metals first.
Right.
And in this story, those base metals are the characters' attachments, their preconceived notions, even their deepest desires.
And speaking of desires, remember that love triangle between Eldwin, Kimber, and Hilda? It's not just a romantic subplot, is it? It feels like it's deeply tied to the prophecy, almost like their individual desires are obstacles they need to overcome.
I think you're onto something. Remember those statues in the labyrinth? The boar, the scorpion, the serpent. Each one seemed to represent a different aspect of the characters' personalities, their inner struggles. It's as if the author is saying, hey, to navigate the labyrinth of life, you have to confront your inner demons, even the ones that feel like love.
Wow, yeah. It's like they're saying that sometimes even love can hold us back from fulfilling our true potential. But then again, isn't love also a powerful force for change, a catalyst for growth? It feels like a paradox.
That's what's so brilliant about this ebook. It's not giving us easy answers. It's posing questions, sparking debate, prompting us to really think critically about the nature of love, sacrifice, and destiny.
Okay, so let's talk about that door of wind, Vayusvara, that leads to the volcanic realm. It's like stepping into another dimension, a place of raw, untamed energy. And here, Eldwin encounters Garuda, the Firebird Guardian. I'm getting serious hero's journey vibes from this part.
It's a classic archetype.
Yeah.
You know, the hero venturing into the underworld, facing trials emerging, transformed. But what's really fascinating here is the symbolism of Vayusvara itself. It's not just a door, it's the name of a Hindu deity associated with wind breath and the life force. It's like the author is subtly connecting this physical journey to a spiritual one.
I see. And the volcanic realm itself is so vivid. It's described as a crucible, a place of both creation and destruction. It's where Eldwin learns to master fire, which, as you said earlier, isn't just about brute force, but about understanding its complexities, its duality.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that fire can purify, refine, and even create just as easily as it can destroy. And it's through this understanding that Eldwin acquires the fiery sword, a symbol of his mastery and his readiness to face whatever comes next.
Yeah, it's like he's been forged in the fires of his own challenges, ready to take on the ultimate test. And speaking of tests, we can't avoid the circle of broken destinies any longer. What can you tell us about this mysterious, almost ominous-sounding place?
The name itself is heavy with meaning. It suggests the disruption of the natural order, a place where destinies collide and unravel. The ebook describes it as a nexus point, a gateway, and a test. It feels like the culmination of everything we've explored so far, the characters' choices, their sacrifices, their understanding of the prophecy. It all converges at this point.
It's like they're stepping onto a cosmic stage, and the final act is about to begin. And remember, they're not just passive players in this drama. They're actively shaping their destinies, making choices that have far-reaching consequences.
And those choices often come at a cost. Remember, Hilda's decision to free Eldwin from the prison and take his place. It's such a powerful moment, a testament to her love and her willingness to sacrifice her own freedom for someone she believes in.
It's a heroic act, for sure. But it also raises some questions, doesn't it? Questions about agency and free will. To what extent are our destinies predetermined? And how much power do we really have to change the course of our lives and the lives of those around us?
That's the age-old question, isn't it? Are we masters of our own fate, or are we just playing out roles in some grand cosmic play? This ebook doesn't give us any easy answers, but it definitely makes us look at those questions in a new light.
And let's not forget that incredibly moving scene between Eldwin and Kimber in the prison. Even though they're chained and separated, their connection, their love for each other, it's just palpable.
Oh, that scene had me in tears. Despite their physical separation, they find a way to connect on this deeper level, reminding us that love can transcend even the most formidable barriers. It's like a reminder that sometimes when we're faced with overwhelming darkness, all we have is each other.
Yeah, and even though their time together is cut short, that moment of connection, that shared vulnerability, it's something they'll carry with them forever. It's a testament to the enduring power of human connection, even in the most difficult circumstances.
And there's such beauty in Kimber's understanding of Eldwin's connection to Hilda. He seems to know deep down that their fates are intertwined, that Eldwin has a role to play that goes beyond their personal relationship.
Yeah, it really speaks volumes about Kimber's character, his capacity for selfless love. He loves Eldwin enough to let him go, to encourage him to embrace his destiny, even if it means they'll be apart.
It's a heartbreaking realization for sure, but one that ultimately frees Eldwin to fulfill his purpose.
And then there's that gut-wrenching moment when they say goodbye.
Find your light, Kimber tells him. It's more than just a farewell. It's a blessing, a call to action, a reminder to never give up hope.
It's such a powerful message, a testament to the transformative power of love. Even in the face of separation and sacrifice, Kimber wants Eldwin to shine, to embrace his full potential.
It's beautiful, and it sets the stage perfectly for the final act of this incredible story.
We've covered so much ground already, and yet it feels like we're just scratching the surface. I'm so eager to dive into that final act, explore what happens at the Circle of Broken Destinies, and try to figure out what that mysterious fruit mentioned at the very end could possibly mean.
Well, get ready, because we're about to witness a cosmic event that will change the course of this story forever.
Okay, so we're back, and wow, I am still just blown away by that last segment. Those final chapters were just like a whirlwind of emotion and sacrifice.
All right.
We left off with Eldwin, Kimber, and Hilda approaching the Circle of Broken Destinies, this nexus point where it feels like everything is at stake.
Yeah, it's where it all comes together. All those cryptic clues, the prophecies, the characters' inner struggles, they all converge at the circle. It's like the author saying, this is it. This is where the real magic happens.
Right, and remember, they're going into this with heavy hearts. You know, Hilda and Kimber made the ultimate sacrifice. They stepped into the circle in Eldwin's place. It was a moment of profound loss, but also incredible courage.
Yeah, their sacrifice adds this whole other layer to the idea of broken destinies. It's not just about a cosmic shift. It's about personal sacrifices, those moments when we choose to break our own destinies for something bigger, for the greater good.
It's like the author is saying that true heroism sometimes means letting go of our own desires, our own plans for something larger than ourselves.
Exactly.
And that sets the stage for this incredibly powerful scene where Eldwin and Hilda merge to become the rebus.
Yeah.
Remember, the rebus is described as this union of opposites, like a perfect balance of masculine and feminine energies. It's a concept that you find in alchemy and mysticism, and it represents wholeness and enlightenment.
Right.
So are they like literally merging into one being, or is it more symbolic, like a joining of forces to achieve something they couldn't do on their own?
Well, that's the beauty of symbolism, isn't it? It's open to interpretation, but I think it's safe to say that this merging represents a profound transformation. They're combining their strengths, their unique perspectives, to create something entirely new.
Yeah. And remember, Eldwin has that fiery sword, the symbol of his mastery over fire's dual nature. And Hilda, she embodies the storm with all its chaotic power and potential for change. Together, they are a force to be reckoned with.
It's true. They're like the embodiment of the prophecy itself, the death of the old sun and the birth of the new moon. It's this cosmic dance of destruction and creation, and we're witnessing it unfold right before our eyes.
And it's through this merging, this cosmic dance, that they create the Selene Nocturna, the new moon, that will bring balance back to the world. It's a moment of pure magic, pure hope. It's like the impossible becoming possible.
It really is. It's as if they're rewriting the laws of the universe, defying fate itself. And it's all made possible by the sacrifices of those who came before them, those who were willing to break their own destinies to create a better future.
But even with this triumphant act of creation, the ebook doesn't shy away from the weight of the loss. You know, Kimber and Hilda are gone, their destinies fulfilled, but at a great cost.
Right.
It's a reminder that even in victory, there's sorrow, this bittersweet acknowledgement of the sacrifices made along the way.
And it speaks to the cyclical nature of life and death. You know, how endings are also beginnings. Their sacrifice paves the way for this new era, but it's an era built on the foundation of their love, their courage, their willingness to let go.
It's a powerful message reminding us that our actions have ripple effects, that even in death our spirits live on in the people we've touched in the world we've helped to shape.
Absolutely.
And then in those final lines, we have that lingering mystery, the mention of a fruit. What do you think it could be?
Well, it's hard to say. We've talked about fruits as symbols of temptation, new beginnings, the fruits of our labor. But in this context, I think it's something deeper. I think it represents the unknown, the infinite possibilities that exist beyond our current understanding.
Oh, I love that. That's a great interpretation. It's like the author is saying, this is just the beginning. The journey doesn't end here. There's always more to discover, more to learn, more to experience.
Exactly.
It's an invitation to keep exploring, to keep asking those questions, to keep pushing the boundaries of our imagination. And, you know, even though our deep dive is coming to a close, the conversation doesn't have to end here.
Right. It's your turn now, dear listener. What are your thoughts on this fruit? What mysteries did this deep dive spark in your mind? What connections did you make that maybe we missed?
Take this journey further, reread the ebook, do some research, Share your insights. Who knows? Maybe you'll uncover a hidden meaning, a real-world connection, a new perspective that changes how we see the whole story.
That's the power of a good story. It keeps giving long after you finish reading it.
Well, it has been an incredible journey exploring the depths of Enuma Ichor with you. Until next time, keep diving deep and keep those conversations going.